Royal tiaras are a staple in the wardrobes of royal women. Not only has each royal bride, from Meghan Markle to Princess Eugenie, worn a tiara on their wedding day, but they are also often worn by female members of the monarchy to important events, such as royal banquets and during state visits. This means that Princess Diana wore a tiara countless times following her marriage to King Charles in 1981, from royal visits abroad to important UK-based events. However, she didn't wear a huge array of different tiaras, typically favoring two in particular whenever an event called for one. For years after their wedding day, Charles and Diana headed to Washington, D.C. to meet with the U.S. President at the time, George W. Bush, and his wife Barbara Bush. The Waleses attended a lavish dinner at the British Embassy in America's capital, and Diana clearly put her best sartorial foot forward for the event. She opted for a gorgeous, high-neck Marie Arbeit white evening gown, a set of stunning pearl earrings, and what came to be her beloved Cambridge Lover's knot tiara. This tiara is a piece from the royal collection and belonged to Queen Elizabeth II at the time, who loaned the tiara out to Diana on multiple occasions. Designed for Queen Mary in 1941 originally, the tiara was passed down to Queen Elizabeth in 1953, shortly after she became the reigning monarch. Looking every inch the princess, Diana donned her much-loved Spencer tiara during a banquet at the Ajuda National Palace in Lisbon, Portugal in February 1987. Given that Diana comes from an aristocratic background, the Spencer tiara is an heirloom that has been in her family for generations. It was originally a wedding gift from Lady Sarah Spencer to Lady Cynthia Hamilton, Diana's grandmother, in 1919, and in the 1930s was turned into the tiara it is today by luxury jewelers Gerard. The Prince and Princess of Wales were on a four-day visit to Portugal when Diana wore the Spencer tiara during an elegant evening hosted by the Portuguese president at the time, Mário Soares. Diana leaned into her regal role in a striking blue crushed velvet, off-the-shoulder gown, designed by Bruce Oldfield, and matched her family tiara with a pair of sapphire earrings. The Princess of Wales opted again for the Spencer family tiara for a banquet at Claridge's Hotel in London in May 1989, which she placed atop her much shorter, curled blonde hair. The banquet was held for President Ibrahim Babangida of Nigeria during his state visit to the UK, and the banquet was attended by various members of the royal family, as well as Diana. The Spencer tiara made an appearance at a state dinner in Melbourne, Australia, in 1985, when Diana and Charles made their second visit to the country in 4 years. The royal princess wore a navy blue velvet dress for the event at Government House, alongside her much-loved tiara. Princess Diana was a vision in white during a trip to Bahrain in 1986, wearing a stunning gown designed by David and Elizabeth Emanuel, the fashion designer couple who also designed her iconic wedding dress. At a state banquet, she decided to finish the look with the Spencer family tiara and a pair of diamond and pearl earrings, matching the accessories to the crystal detailing on her dress. Diana famously adored the ballet, and as a child, she was a keen ballerina herself, so it's no surprise to see that she dressed in her finest wares during an official visit to the Royal Opera House in Covent Garden to watch a performance by the Kirov Ballet. The princess opted for a blush pink beaded Catherine Walker dress, her Collingwood pearl earrings, and one of her to-go-to tiaras, the Cambridge Lover's knot tiara. Reportedly, this was one of the last times tiaras were worn to the ballet for a gala performance too. Diana wowed the crowds when she attended a reception at the Rest Point Hotel in Hobart, Tasmania in Australia during her and Charles's 1983 tour to the country, when she donned her favorite tiara, the Spencer family tiara. She also sported a stunning red silk Bruce Oldfield dress, a pair of pearl earrings which are said to have been a gift from the Emir of Qatar, the head of Qatar's royal family, and a beautiful diamond necklace, as well as the Royal Order of Queen Elizabeth II tied to her gown. Princess Diana looked like an old Hollywood movie star during a banquet in Bonn, Germany, where she donned her much-loved Spencer tiara as the finishing touch to her fabulous outfit. Arguably one of our favorite Princess Diana tiara moments of all time, the late royal went all in on the glitz and glamour of her royal statues when she attended a banquet held by Shankar Dayal Sharma, the Indian vice president at the time, in Delhi, India. For this event in 1992, just a few short months before announcing her separation from the then Prince Charles, she chose to wear a gown created by designer Catherine Walker, who she worked with for many years before her tragic death in 1997. Diana wore a stunning white and gold gown by Catherine Walker for a reception at the German embassy in London in July 1986, held by the President of the Federal Republic of West Germany, Dr. Richard von Weizsäcker, in honor of Queen Elizabeth. She decided to match her dress with another wear of her beloved Spencer tiara. The princess looked utterly flawless in the majestic outfit, which was expertly finished off with a pair of elbow-length silk gloves, pearl earrings, and a classic pearl choke. A vision in white, Diana returned to her beloved Spencer family tiara for an event at the Royal Academy in 1984, when she was almost 7 months pregnant with her second son, Prince Harry. She wore a simple white tulle gown with balloon sleeves for the occasion, designed by Belleville Sassoon, and paired the Spencer tiara with the Prince of Wales feather pendant around her neck, creating an elegant and sophisticated outfit that ties in perfectly with her favorite tiara. Whilst attending a dinner with the then Canadian Prime Minister Brian Mulroney during a royal visit to Vancouver, Canada, Diana returned to her beloved Cambridge Lovers Knot tiara. The Lovers Knot tiara from the royal collection truly shone when Diana wore it during a trip to Saudi Arabia in November 1986. At an evening dinner, she made a real style statement in a monochrome black and white dress, designed by none other than David and Elizabeth Emanuel. Diana returned to her much-loved tiara, the Lover's Knot, for a banquet at the Itamaraty Palace, which was the official residence of the President of Brazil at the time, Fernando Collor de Mello. The Princess of Wales donned one of her favorite colors for a banquet at Claridge's Hotel in London in 1988, hosted by the President of Turkey, Kenan Evren, to mark the end of his state visit to the UK. Diana opted for a one-shoulder turquoise gown and, of course, the Spencer tiara, creating a show-stopping look. To add to her bling, the princess further accessorized the outfit with Queen Mary's emerald and diamond choker, which was said to be a gift to Diana from Queen Elizabeth II. In 1983, a young Princess Diana flew to Canada with her then-husband Prince Charles for an 18-day tour of the country, and she made sure to bring along one of her favorite tiaras, the Lover's Knot tiara, which she wore to a dinner at the Hotel Nova Scotian. Diana was often considered to be a royal rule breaker, and she broke the mold a few times with her regal outfits, though it often resulted in brilliant looks that perfectly summed up her playful and fun personality. And she did just that in 1985, whilst on a visit to Melbourne, Australia with Prince Charles. The princess opted for a bright tulle gown for the occasion, and decided to forego a tiara in place of an Art Deco-style emerald choker, which she neatly repurposed as a headband. During their official visit to Canada in 1991, Charles and Diana headed on a glamorous night out on 26 October to a gala dinner at the Royal York Hotel in Toronto. Once again, Princess Diana sported the Spencer tiara, sitting it atop her curly blonde hair. On June 21, 1989, Diana wowed the crowds at Mansion House in London, showing off the Spencer tiara again in all its glittering glory. The Princess of Wales was attending a dinner in honor of Robert Hawke, the Australian Prime Minister at the time, who was on a visit to the UK. Perhaps one of the most famous Princess Diana tiara moments was when she was pictured looking a little tired at a dinner in Auckland, New Zealand, at the tail end of her and Prince Charles' visit to the country in 1983. During the banquet, she was seen looking down for large portions of the evening and was often seen adjusting her tiara, the lover's knot tiara. But it's not all that surprising that the royal was looking slightly sleepy, given that it was the final event of a very jam-packed tour. In November 1992, Charles and Diana attended a banquet at the Blue House in Seoul, Korea, thrown by President Roh Moo-hyun. The princess decided to wear the Spencer family tiara to match her iconic curly hair, which appeared extra voluminous during this outing, and a pink and purple embellished dress. This trip was reportedly intended as a way of proving to the world that Charles and Diana were a happy couple and were not on the verge of divorce despite reports. However, unfortunately, the very opposite happened, and it was on this trip that the entire world picked up on the fact that the royal couple did not seem very happy in their marriage. It turned out to be the catalyst that finally ended their unhappy marriage. Just a few weeks later, on December 9, 1992, following a meeting on 25 November at Kensington Palace, it was announced to the world that Diana and Charles would be separating. The Princess of Wales rarely opted for headwear that wasn't the lover's knot tiara or the Spencer tiara, but in 1986, she attended the royal charity premiere of Ivan the Terrible by the Bolshoi Ballet at the Royal Opera House, wearing a brand new tiara that hadn't been seen on Diana previously. The history and origin of the white material headband she is wearing is not clear, but she opted to wear it with a stunning white, off-the-shoulder dress created by David Emanuel for this event. We're sad we didn't see this headpiece again from the princess. The last known time Diana wore a tiara in public was during a banquet at the Dorchester Hotel in London to celebrate visiting Malaysian royalty in November 1993. The Princess of Wales opted to wear the Spencer tiara alongside a bright green dress designed by her favorite designer, Catherine Walker. As mentioned, this was the final time Diana was seen wearing the Spencer tiara, or any tiara at all for that matter. After her separation from Charles in December 1992, she was never seen wearing a royal tiara out in public again, likely due to her changing role as a royal. Since then, though, the Spencer tiara has not gone unworn. It has since been worn by the first wife of Diana's brother, Charles Spencer, as well as Diana's niece, Lady Celia McCorquodle. In November of 1981, just a couple of months after getting married, Princess Diana attended her very first state opening of Parliament alongside her husband, then Prince Charles. Diana took a fashion risk during a 1986 visit to Tokyo when styled her outfit with a headpiece instead of a traditional diamond tiara. The Princess of Wales had received a suite of sapphire jewels from the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia as a wedding gift, and had the watch that was gifted to her reproposed into a choker, which she wore on multiple occasions. However, in 1986, she revealed that she had had the choker reproposed into a headpiece, which she wore to this imperial banquet in Tokyo. She also wore matching sapphire earrings and a ring to complete the look. Diana took the Spencer tiara, an heirloom passed down throughout her family, on its first outing abroad after her royal wedding in 1983, when she and Charles went on their now famous first royal tour to Australia, a visit which was also documented on Netflix's The Crown. One of the most iconic tiara photos of Princess Diana is when she attended a dinner in New Zealand, wearing a powder blue polka dot dress by David and Elizabeth Emanuel, the designers of her iconic wedding dress. In the photo, Diana is seen wearing the Spencer tiara on top of her expertly blown out hair, but despite the glamour of the photo, royal fans and commentators at the time couldn't help but notice that the Princess of Wales looked a little down and upset this evening. Princess Diana was known to love ballet and dancing in general, and she proudly showed off her skills when she and Charles attended a gala together at Government House in Wellington, Australia, back in April 1983, just 2 years after their wedding. Royal brides are said to be prohibited from wearing a tiara until the day of the wedding, which is why it quickly becomes tradition for each royal woman or woman marrying into the family to wear one on their wedding day. For Charles and Diana's ceremony in July 1981 at St. Paul's Cathedral, she opted for a tiara not from the royal collection, but from her side of the family, opting for the now world-famous Spencer tiara. Diana used the family tiara to securely fasten her 25ft veil to her head and to her beautiful dress.